So today we're going to talk about sharpening knives. This is just an introduction to get you going and to keep all our knives sharp at all times. I will try to cover as much as possible, but as we go I will teach you things here and there how to get it better every time. The first thing you need to do is to understand what's the role of each piece of equipment we have here. We're missing one thing. Okay, we're missing this. Now we got everything. So when you pick your stones, the stones have a grit number. I'm going to show you a new stone here. For example, this is 1,000 grit stone. Here it says 1,000 grit, particle size 1,000. That means grit, particle size or grit. It's the same meaning. Let me show you another stone here. This one will say some Japanese then 1,000, some Japanese 3,000. That means it has one side 1,000, one side 3,000. So what does this mean? The lower the grit number, it means the surface is more rough. And the more rough the surface is, the more it's gonna shave off steel from your blade. It will shave off more material of your blade. So when you sharpen your knife, you shave off material and make a new blade, basically. Make a new surface for the knife. Let's say, for example, you sharpen this every single day on a 200 grit, which is very low. After a while, you're gonna end up with no knife, because every day you shave off, shave off, shave off, shave off. You end up with no knife. Maybe it will last, if you every day do it on a 200 grit, very low, or 400, very low. You are shaving off your knife. You are losing material. Sometimes it's necessary when your knife is in very bad condition, or when you are sharpening a cleaver. Where's our cleaver? Here. You are sharpening a cleaver. A cleaver needs more rough treatment. Or if you're sharpening an axe, you need 200 grit for an axe. But the more delicate and thin the blade is, the higher grit you need. So let's say I always get people from their house, they give me a knife. They haven't sharpened one time since they bought it. Of course I'm going to start with 200 or 400 because you're giving me a very bad condition, something in a very bad condition. I'm going to start very low. But if a chef who sharpens his knife, let's say once a week, gives me his knife, I will start on a higher number, 1,000, a 2,000 grit. Then go up and up and up. The more up you go, the more polishing you do. So the lower the grit, the more shaving off material you're doing. The higher the grit, the more polishing action you're doing it. The more closer to becoming a razor you're getting. And the maximum grit you can ever get is a leather strap or leather strap. I don't know what they call it. Like, you know how in the old times when they use the same blade, you see that the barber going like that with the leather strap like that, or leather, I don't know how to say that word, but he goes like that. He's polishing it to be a razor. We got that, but in a kitchen condition, you don't really need a razor. You're not shaving hair with it. You need a nice sharp knife that's gonna cut. The maximum is a tomato, because tomato need the sharpest thing in the kitchen. So now we're gonna sharpen a bunch of knives. None of them is in such a bad condition. So we're gonna sharpen here. Let me check. None of them. These are not mine. I'm gonna check yours, chef. Yours is not in bad condition. So here we're not gonna touch low. We're not gonna touch 200 or 400. I think the lowest I've got is 200 upstairs. But the lowest I got here now with me, I think this is like 420, the blue part, and 1,000 for the other part, the gray part. Mine is eaten up because a lot of family and friends get me knives that are really bad. So the low grit ones, you grind a lot and you lose a lot of stone as well, not just the metal. Yeah, so that's why it's all eaten up. It's all less than half remaining. Now we're gonna do all of these. We're gonna start with 1,000. We're gonna go up to 8,000, and that's it. We're done. We're not gonna go 12,000 or leather or something. We're gonna stop at that. We want it sharp enough for a kitchen, not to shave. So we're gonna do stone, low grit, stone, higher grit, then hone it. What this doesn't sharpen. What this does is it puts the blade back in place. Let's say the tip of the blade is all wrinkly, or one side is like bent to the one side, or like the blade is like that. Maybe it's bent to this side, or maybe bent to this side. What this does is put it back in place. And if you do this regularly between jobs, let's say you cut a tomato, then an onion, hone in the middle a little bit. Let's say you're doing butchering chickens. Between every 6 chickens, clean the knife, hone it a little bit. This has a magnet in it too. So the debris, you cannot see it in the naked eye, the debris will stick to this. And it got like a little protection thing. You put your fingers behind, you never hold that steel. You keep your fingers protected behind this thing. And let's pick a random knife here. And you're gonna go full blade up and down, like that. Or you can do one side and do the other side. The speed is not necessary. You can go slow. Okay? So I'm gonna try to hit my finger now. It's not gonna hit. See, bam, 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 bam. I'm protected. It's not gonna hit my finger. So now, since we just explained that, now let's go to the second step. The first thing you need to do with the stone, these stones are all Whetstones. There's another type of stone that you use oil, but mine are all water based. You use oil, the water is used like a lubricant. So you don't make a lot of friction, and the lubrication is the water, and you need to always add water to the stone. I'm gonna show you that. But before that, when you sharpen your knife, you need to understand what kind of blade you're working with. Let's, for example, take this, a chef knife. You have to look closely. Let's take one of my knives, because I'm used to mine more. This is my knife, okay? You have to get closer. So this is an industry knife, Dexter Russell industry plastic handle. Almost all of these come with a 50-50 blade. What does 50-50 mean? 50-50 mean that the blade in the end is like that. 50% here, 50% here. Some Japanese knives usually play with the angles. They have one like that, one like that, one like that, one like that. There is a 90-10. It means one is like that, one is like that. I don't know. Like, there's a lot of different types. There's a 100, like 100 on one side, then the other side is flat. I have one of these. Maybe it's here. Ah, it's there. I have one up there, like the chicken one, a Japanese one. One side is all blade, one side is just straight, no blade on the other side. Japanese knives tend to have that. That's how they do it over there. But in general, the majority are going to be 50-50. Let's say you have a knife and you want to sharpen it. Look closely on the blade. Understand how it's sitting in the beginning. You look closely, you see the angle. You see the angle if it's like that, or like that, or like that, or like that. Like, no, that's not going to be opposite. It's like crazy. No, forget about that. It's going to be like that, or like that, or like that. So, you know your blade. Why does this matter? It matters when you start sharpening. You gotta try to match that angle it's at. Okay? So, let's start sharpening now. We're gonna take this. It's been soaking for like 10 minutes now. It's kind of messy. Sharpening is messy. We're gonna start with undergrit. Now, I have the luxury of this tool. Most people won't have this. I didn't have this until a week ago. This is a brand called Naliwa. I bought it from Chef's Play, a website in Dubai. From outside Dubai, you can get it from Amazon or something. I think they have it. They have it everywhere. This is called rubber feet or rubber something. I forgot its name, but it's a stone holder. And what this does, it gives you the stability. See, this is very stable. Bam. It doesn't go anywhere. But let's say you don't have that luxury. Get a kitchen towel and fold it to the size of the stone. You might want to wet it a little bit so it's more sticky. Here I wet it with just the water here, and then you put the other stone on top. It moves, see, a little bit, but less than if small stone directly. But this one doesn't move. See, same. It moves. This doesn't move. So this is a good upgrade, and these are not that expensive. I bought this for 130 dirham or 140, something like that. I'm not sure. This worth the money. And these stones, the Naniwa one was around 120 dirham, 130 dirham, the 1000 grit. made in Japan. When you buy stones, I suggest you get something made in Japan or something made in USA. This is made in USA, this is made in Japan. If you buy the Chinese one, let's say it will say 1,000, but it's not really 1,000. They lie to you. They put, because I'm not sure about the manufacturing process, but I think the higher the grit goes, the more expensive the stone becomes. From just observation. I don't know, someone correct me on this. So basically you just want, I think the Japanese and the American stones I bought stick to the real number on the package. The Chinese ones I bought, which are very inexpensive, they are not correct. Like this one, I don't think this one is, this is a Chinese one. A whole set was the price like of one stone, when the whole set is 8 stones. So but they lie. What's the point if they lie on the package? They are all maybe 1,000, I think. So now we're gonna start sharpening. The first thing, this is wet. You wet it a little bit here. Yeah, come closer now. Now let's start with this. I'm gonna wet it here a little bit too. This one is a very thin blade. Like it is, I see that it doesn't go like that. It goes like all the way like that. Then in the end there's a very small blade. So you gotta follow the blade. You put a little pressure. You be careful, sometimes you will cut your finger like that when you go here. So hold it from here, like hold it from up, above the blade. I sometimes put it like that, but I'm used to it. And there's also another thing, sometimes when you sharpen a lot of blades on a very low grit, it burns out your finger. Like when I used to do on this side, your finger will start bleeding if you do on a very low grit. But on 1,000, I think you're fine until like you're doing more than 15 knives. So you hold it like that. I know this, I've done it so many times, so I know the blade, the angle of my blade. It's like that kind of. And you start going. Now, a lot of people are going to give you a lot of ways, and a lot of chefs are going to say what I'm doing is wrong and what he does is right. To each his own. Do you, I do me, okay? What I do, if the blade is short like this one, I section it into 2 sections. 1 and 2. So I'm going to hit 1 again and 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 again. Hit 1, 1, 1, 1. Then hit 2, 2, 2. Try to match the number, like count to 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Put equal pressure on all the places you're sharpening. Put your hands like that and wet it before you switch. So here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Move to the other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Then what I like to do, you gotta keep feeling it. And in the end I will explain to you what to feel for. Because you gotta know what you're looking for. Why are you feeling it? Then I go like full blade, like that. I don't know why I do this. I think I started doing this because I started thinking when I do section by section, I need to kind of all make them one. So I do section by section, then I do the full thing to like gather them together. And please always remember to put pressure, because if you're not putting pressure, you're not shaving off any material. You're not really sharpening it. Now it's sharp. Okay, but we're gonna talk about what you look for later. So you can see this slurry, this like slurry here. This is from this is the knife and the stones. They're all losing material. We're doing that. We did that. The section already did it. So you go like that. Now it is a sharp knife. Now what does it mean when I say it is a sharp knife? A sharp knife needs to feel scratchy. A dull knife will feel soft. So if you want to know the ultimate sharp and you don't know what sharp feels like, go open a razor, a brand new razor, the hair razor blade, and feel it. Have a feel at it. And then you will know what sharp is. Because let's say I want to tell you lemon tastes sour and you never tasted lemon in your life, and I tell you what this lemon tastes like, you're not going to know what lemon tastes like. But when you feel what a blade, like a razor blade for the beard feels like, then you're going to know what sharp feels like. Then you start feeling it here and you know how close you are to being a razor blade. And this is now pretty like it's sharp. it scratches your fingers when you run it across it. Okay. Now we've done. Now in the later when we are out of camera, we're gonna touch them and know what it feels like. So now we've done this. We're done with the 1000 grit. Go with all your knives and run it through the 1000 here. Same thing. Know the blade, what it looks like. Be careful. Some of them have a little tang here. I forgot what this is called. Like a dull part. I try to avoid it here because it messes up the stone. But sometimes you're gonna hit it, even if you don't want to. You're gonna hit it, and you're gonna ruin the stone. But even for that, you can buy a stone corrector or a stone fixer, which we do sometimes because the stone will start looking warped, will start having waves. You need to buy a stone corrector, and if you're really rich, just throw the stone and buy a new one. It's up to you. How much money you want to spend on this? It's up to you. But I correct my stones because it's nice, it's economic. And for butchery knives, every knife you need to take care of this, but especially for butchery knives, take care of the tip a little more. Give the tip a little more attention, because when you are going into meat like that, looking around the joint, you need a very sharp tip, and you go like that. See, this is not a fun knife to sharpen because it's an awkward shape. It's circular. It's very thin blade, but we have to sharpen it anyway. This blade will dull quick because it's very thin and frail, and I use it for butchery. So that's why I have multiple, because sometimes you just switch. You don't have time to sharpen it and go back to work. You have to switch, and in the end of the day, you sharpen them. But typically, a knife you use for a whole task in a restaurant, let's say, not in a house setting, you have to sharpen it daily. By the end of the service, or when you got free time in the middle, sharpen your knife. We're gonna have the stone up here all the time, soak it. The thing is, if we soak it indefinitely every day, all day, the stones start disintegrating. So we can keep it soaked for the day, or no, we just soak it 1 minute when we need it, then we just put it back. We'll see what system we kind of get. And sometimes people at home chip the front of the tip. Sometimes if you're lucky, you can correct it by just hitting it again and again and again and again. On a low grit, you can fix the chipping. But if the chipping is too bad, there's nothing you can do. The knife is gone. That's why you be careful not to drop the knife, not to drive through big bones. Like I saw you earlier. When you have a thin blade, like let's see, this thin blade, when you're butchering a chicken with this thin blade, see it's thin and moves. Don't go through bones in this. Go through bones with this thick blade. See, it's very thick. So you can go through bones with this thick blade. Yeah. Now we see the angle, we hit it. I'm gonna section this because it's a long one. Like that. Put some pressure on. This is moving a little bit now with the water, but it's fine. Better than a towel for sure. I'm gonna section here, second section, then the tip alone. Then do the whole thing. Give the little extra for the tip, because this I found out I bought random knives, but I'm liking this for chicken. This and the cleaver for chicken. Depends which one. You choose which one you like, but I think stick to those two for chicken here at this restaurant. Until we get more knives, like in future we'll get more knives. But I think this size-wise and thickness-wise and oh, that's the coffee machine, ignore it. Yeah. Let's see. You have to feel it. Sometimes you accidentally give attention to one more side than the other. You go back. See, this is thicker and hard. Like it's thick and hard, so it's gonna take a while to get sharp. But I for my knives I avoid the low grit. If you put the low grit, this is gonna sharpen much faster. But I do on 1000. I mean, now for an average person, this is very sharp. But we want it extra sharp. I'm trying to put more. Be careful about this, like your other hand. Be careful, like don't get it stuck with the blade. It's gonna cut you. See, now it needs water. You can see it's getting dry. We touch it, now it's sharp. Okay, okay. We're gonna do the other side, and that's it. Now the station looks like it needs a cleaning. It's all messy. So we're gonna reset the station. Are you close to the, can you see it close up? Okay, good. This one is sharp. Okay, now we're gonna clean the station a little bit because this thing started sliding now. No, don't get sanitizer. I'm getting, no need. Okay, this is just a little sand, it's nothing. Yeah, we reset it. Let's dry this down here. Okay, so let me finish the video because now we have 100 blades. Let's do one more. Let's finish a couple. No. Keep the video running. We're gonna finish on these knives. We're gonna put this back in water. Usually, you wanna finish all the blades on one grit, then go to another grit, and then hone them. So let's imagine we finish them all now. Let's jump to the 8000, just to polish them. This is much smaller, so I'm gonna close this on it. Okay. Okay, it's closing it. Tight, no problem. Okay, let's get one of the knives we sharpened. This one. This one, once I bent the tip on a bone. So on a couple of times it's gonna fix it eventually. See, this is too rough. This is not really 8000. Next time we're gonna get one of the ones upstairs. This is not what it says it is. There's a lie. This is very sharp now. And we're gonna do one more knife with a different shape because this is a curved one. Yeah, this is sharp, nice and sharp now. Let's get another one, this one. And see, when it's straight, it's easier. It's much easier, much more forgiving. You just hit it, and it's sharp. Yeah, very sharp. The high grit, you're not supposed to spend a lot of time on the high grit, just to polish. Okay, this is very sharp. We're done. So now give me a washed one. You wash this one, yeah. The last step you need to do, you feel it, sharp. You get the honing steel. You get the last touch on the blade. You see, I'm gonna do it slow. Get it all nice. This is done. This is done. We got a sharp knife here. Now let's do this other one. Try to follow the angle. Sometimes you forget, but that's fine. You gotta slow it down. Get the whole blade all the way down to up. Down to up. And other people, I've seen people do that, and I don't know, like that and that and that. It's up to you. I don't know. If you have a better way, come tell me. I will check it out. Okay. Yeah, this is now sharp. This is now sharp, ready to go. We put them aside, and that's it. What I would change in all this setup is a better polishing stone. We'll get one from upstairs. We have one. We'll change this. And that's it. That's how you sharpen knives. It's gonna take practice. It looks easy when you see it, someone doing it, but it's gonna take practice to get this part like this. You're gonna might hurt yourself. You like, but okay, take it easy, go slow, and you'll eventually get it. Yeah, خلاص, stop the video. We're done.